Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Danny. If you're new here, you're very welcome. Hello, thank you for stopping by. And if you're part of the family and you've been with me for a while, then hello and welcome back. Sorry it's been a while. I've been super poorly, which you guys will understand. I've got a chronic illness. There's nothing much I can do about it, but when I can get content up I do, so I promise I'm trying to get back to normal now. So what I want to talk about today is I want to talk about my clearing experience at university. I'd like to talk a little bit about being a mature student and that process. I can also refer back to when I went to university the first time when I was 24. I want to talk about being a mature student a bit more later in another video, but today I want to talk about clearing and also results day. So if today is your results day, congratulations. If you're panicking, don't worry, don't panic and listen to my story. Okay, so I've been sitting here for a while thinking about results day and how crazy it is for people going through it at the minute. Well, for the last 2 years, considering the global pandemic of COVID-19. And so firstly, if it is your results day, I just want to say pat on the back, massive well done to you, congratulations, whatever grades you got, because you made it through, you did it, you literally did it in circumstances that have not been seen pretty much since the Middle Ages, pretty much. I mean, you know, so guys, that's epic. What you just did is amazing. So congratulations. Very hard circumstances, from online teaching to being stuck in your bedroom to not being with your friends, the social element, all of it, just the added cost of Amazon, having to buy books on Amazon. Guys, you did it, so amazing. Okay, so I'm going to rewind. So currently I am just finishing my second year at the University of Winchester. I'm studying a BA in medieval history. And I'm hopefully, depending on my marks, they're not back yet, about to go into year 3. Sorry, we just stopped for a second. Year 3. How did that happen? Because you know what year 3 means? Yeah, dissertation, yeah. Okay, enough about that. I don't want to think about that right now. So that's where I am. So it's been a strange year, for sure, 2 years. But before that, I had a career in the NHS. So I've already been to university. And funny enough, I was considered a mature student at 24. So, right. So let's go back to the beginning. I will include a little bit for ODP students because I know you're watching, so we'll start there very briefly and then move on to now. Okay, so when I was 24, I'd done okay at GCSEs, not great. I'd been to college and done an advanced GNVQ in health and social care and passed it, and a couple of other qualifications. I had lack of self-esteem, lack of confidence, and I tell you what, a lot of that being from having a chronic illness. I was in hospital all the time. I took a lot of my exams in hospital. I had no confidence. I didn't have a lot of friends because and I've been severely bullied because of having this long-term condition. People just don't understand really. And I was in hospital a lot, which impacted my studying and the social side as well. I just didn't have the confidence to go to university at 18. I also don't think that I was ready. So if, number one, if you're not ready to go and you don't want to go, either you don't want to go or you just don't feel ready, don't be pressured into it and don't feel like you have to. There's always this pressure to follow on to the next step, but you don't have to do somebody else's story. That might be right for somebody else, that might not be right for you. Make sure that if you're making the decision to go to university, it is your decision for starters. There is no shame in taking a gap year, there's no shame in taking a year out, there's no shame in not going at all. Or there's no shame in getting a job rather than going to uni. There is all relative. It's what is the right fit for you and what works for you. So do that. I just didn't have any confidence, so I got a job in Boots, and it's kind of funny that the other end of my life was makeup and beauty, because I very much enjoyed my time there and ended up working for lots of different companies like Clinique, Estée Lauder, Bobbi Brown, and trained as a makeup artist. And I'm really glad that I got to do that, because not only did it really allow me to grow as a person, it gave me a lot of life experience, and I grew up quite a lot quite quickly, and I gained that sense of self and that confidence that I needed to go to university. So when I got to 24, I applied. That was to the University of Portsmouth, and I was umming and ahhing about what course I wanted to do, and I saw this course for basically operating department practice through Portsmouth Uni, and it was the DIP-HE diploma, which now they're sort of phasing that out and doing just the degree, which is amazing. And I highly recommend it if you're considering it as a career. I've already got a video up on my channel for how to becoming an ODP, so if you're interested in it, then do scroll down and find that, because that should explain a lot about it. I've already detailed that, and I will be doing some more ODP videos, I promise, especially about people going to university to do ODP. I'm just about to film them. So for that one, I can't really, I don't know that I applied through clearing. I must have applied through regular UCAS. But it was all a bit strange because I hadn't, you know, college was a while back. So I left school in 99 and did my GCSEs in 99 and left college in 2001. So it was about 2008 by the time that I applied to uni, maybe 2007, 2008. A while ago. So I applied to the University of Portsmouth, and they basically said, we're not sure if your grades are enough because it's a very demanding course and you need the same sort of grades as like for nursing, so let's have you come down for an interview. So I did my UCAS form and it got received by the University of Portsmouth. They invited me to come down for a interview, which was quite daunting actually, but my advice is, if you have to do something like that, a lot of them are done over the phone now, especially with COVID, but if you do have to go in person, just dress smart, be punctual, make a list of questions you want to ask them, be prepared, think of some questions they might ask you, things like, why do you want to do this course? Do you have any relative experience for me in caring? Have you done any healthcare support work? What are your qualifications? Take your certificates in a folder with you. Do you have any references from people? Anything like that, they're going to want to know. They're going to put quite hard questions to you. You understand that there's going to be drug calculations in this course. Are you happy to do that? There's going to be travel. There's going to be long days. You don't get weekends off. Are you happy to do all those things? So just be ready for your interview. So I had the interview and they said, you know, they asked me a bit about my education, and I explained that I have dyslexia and dyspraxia and a problem with my eye called nystagmus, and that made traditional learning very difficult for me, especially before I was properly diagnosed, and I didn't really get diagnosed till very late in my school career, so I didn't really get any help really. A lot of teachers told me I was thick. A lot of teachers told me that I was thick and stupid, and that I'd never go anywhere in life, that I'd better get a practical job because I wouldn't be able to do anything academic. And I have to say, I always wanted to be academic, but I never felt academic because I wasn't given the tools to know how to be. So they looked at and I explained that I'd been in hospital for a lot of my exams and things, and that's why I was predicted actually to the one thing I did was work very, very hard. So I studied longer and harder than a lot of people did because it takes so long for me to get my head around things. So I worked really, really hard, and I was predicted very good grades. In the end, I was very poorly still and in hospital, and I didn't get them. Not good. And I only just passed my advanced GMVQ, but with teachers saying, but your knowledge is up here, but because of your attendance it's down here. So we had a chat and they basically said, you've got a lot of life experience. I think you're academically able to do this, so we're going to put you on the course. So then I had a good couple of months to prepare. I started in September. I did my course and I graduated in, so a lot of it was placement in the hospital. So if you're in any way a practical person more than academic, I highly recommend being an ODP, really do. So that's a course for operating department practice. Did placement at Southampton General. And you're basically working 8 till 6, 4 days a week, and then I worked at a bar to support myself financially at the weekends, and then finally I finished the course in 2010 and got a job working at Southampton General as an anaesthetic practitioner and registered with the Health Professions Council. But you don't graduate from Portsmouth until the following July. So I'd essentially been working since the October, and so I finally graduated in 2011. Got a job as an anaesthetic practitioner, scroll forward a good couple of years, and my health started to deteriorate, so I've had to take a step away from the NHS and take a break.
It was a Thursday night when I first saw you. Those green eyes caught me.
August 2019.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And I start thinking, what I'm going to do with my life. The career that I worked so hard for is on pause, possibly forever because of my health. I can't sit around at home and do nothing. What am I going to do? So I got thinking, when I was 18, when I was initially thinking about going to university, what did I want to do? And the answer would have been medieval history. At the time, it wasn't necessarily said, but I feel that it was hinted at that in our family there were definitely worries, single parent family, that we would not be able to afford for both of us, myself and my brother, to afford to do normal degrees because of the money. And I wasn't ready anyway. So my brother did go to the University of Essex and he did criminology, and he started maybe 2 years before me. So it was kind of engendered to take an NHS course because the fees would be paid for me, and I absolutely loved what I did. Very proud to be an ODP. However, my passion and what I probably would have wanted to do if I'd had the choice at 18, if I'd been able to go and if I'd wanted to go, would have been medieval history. So I'm sitting here, Mike wasn't here, Mike was away, so I had a lot on my mind, a lot to think about, and I just thought I have to do something, and thought about university, and I thought, haven't done uni for a while, don't know if the old brain's still working. I've never done a properly academic course, don't know if I can do it. Probably won't get accepted anyway, so with that in mind, I thought, you know what, probably had a few glasses of wine, thought I'm going to apply. So I did. Here comes the advice. So the first thing I did was go online and look at the universities around me.
Tip 1, find the course you're interested in. Which unis offer it? Do your research.
University of Portsmouth, already been there, done that, bought the hoodie type scenario, graduated. Tick. University of Southampton, possibly. A couple of others that were around, not really sure. And just as I was scrolling through, Winchester popped up and I thought, okay. We had already as a couple decided that we loved Winchester. We'd been going for years and it was our little place in the world. And on our little marriage 5-year plan, 10-year plan, we decided that one day when we were grown-ups with a mortgage, when Mike was out of the Navy, we were going to buy a house in Winchester. So I thought, could start the ball rolling. So I looked at Winchester. So the first thing I did was order a prospectus. So this is actually my undergraduate prospectus, 19, from Winchester. Flicked through, thought they've got some very interesting courses. Okay, so my first stop was anthropology. And I thought, ooh, very interesting. And then I thought, do you know what, I think I need to have a bit of a break from the science side of things because I've already been there and done that. There wasn't anything else. I toyed with English, I'm not going to lie, because that's always been a love. But all in all, the one thing that came back again and again and again, history. Okay. The city, and obviously, so I'm just going to read from the brochure, but come off it. Winchester and history, hand in hand. Winchester and history, made for each other, like Ben and Jerry's. The city of Winchester is the perfect base to study history. Whether you have a passion for the Middle Ages, King Alfred, much, want to explore how much recent events have influenced today's world, or prefer a more hands-on approach to dig deeper into our past. Yeah, so the courses that they offered were BA Hons History, BA Hons History and Archaeology. Oh, that sounded interesting. BA Hons History and Politics. BA Hons Medieval History. BA Hons Modern History. Okay, so I was fairly torn between those two, and then thought about it. So I went deeper and had a look online, and then had a look when the brochure finally arrived.
Research your course, check the university and location. Is it right for you as a package?
So I looked online and found the medieval course with the code that was in the brochure, and it ran through some of the modules and what would be expected. It did detail how hard it was going to be, have to admit, and pretty much from the modules it said about. So it detailed the modules, some of the modules, and that basically whet my appetite and got me interested. And one area that I've always been interested in is queenship, medieval queenship, any type of queenship, but medieval queenship. If you haven't got this magazine, do. I love History Revealed, BBC History Revealed magazine. For any history buffs, it's really interesting. And this one that was out recently, Your Essential Guide to Medieval Queens, and that has some wonderful articles on medieval queens, if you're interested, by some of my very own lecturers, like Dr. Ellie Woodacre. Yeah, fabulous. So Margaret of Anjou, Elizabeth Woodville. So anyway, I digress. So looked at the modules and I thought, okay, so then it said apply through clearing. So then I went online to look for how to apply, and it came up with apply through clearing. So it says, join us at the University of Winchester this September. Clearing applications are open now, and we'd love to welcome you to our we'd love to welcome you to our friendly community. Take the next step on your educational journey. Call us today from 8:30 till midnight, and it gives the number, and there's a clearing line. So that's what I did basically, and what they were offering was, for younger people, guaranteed accommodation. Find out more about guaranteed accommodation and what's on offer. Then it talks about clearing events, so you can discover a range of virtual and on-campus events. And then it lists some tips for clearing. They even had some vlogs and some videos to watch, which sort of helped make my mind up. And then it hits you with the facts. So, University of Winchester. Winchester voted the happiest place to live in the UK. I agree with that. Top 10 tips, guaranteed accommodation. It's also top 10 for employment, graduate outcomes, and I think it was listed as one of the safest cities in the UK. But for medieval history, I was drawn by the fact that it is a medieval city. The cathedral, King Alfred, I mean, I don't have to go into it. I mean, that cathedral's seen so much, you know, from Canute to St Swithin, the marriage of Mary Tudor, so much. So I basically thought, yes, this is for me.
I phoned the university's clearing line, spoke to somebody, and after a small conversation, it was
phoned
done.
Clearing line and spoke to somebody. They were really helpful, really quick, and I was kind of saying, probably won't be able to take me, but, and they said, okay, well, what's your qualifications? And I said, well, I've done this and done that. And then I thought, oh gosh, I've already done a university course. I probably won't get funding through student finance. My fees were paid by the local NHS authority. I wasn't quite sure. So she basically came back and said, yeah, that's fine. What I am going to do, because your qualifications are very different, with your previous being medical, so took my number and my email and said they would put it to a head of the department for history to check that I had the necessary credits, which they said that I did. They just asked that I send them over very quickly. So this is the 16th of August 2019. They asked me to send over, so essentially a month before university started. So they asked me to send over all of my academic certificates for GCSEs, A-levels, and any professional qualifications from previous university courses. So I did that.
Education certificates at the ready, or your current results ready to send as proof?
I also had to send references, so you might want to think about that. So I guess if you're in college, you're going to use somebody from college as a reference. If you're a mature student, they asked for my employer, so I went to the senior sister in the hospital that I worked for. I also sent a couple of character references as well.
Have 2 references ready to go and contact details. They will be emailed and asked to provide a reference for you.
then that got processed. Then I did have to do UCAS. I did have to do a full-on form. I believe I had to pay £50.
Be advised there may be a fee for UCAS, but also prepare a small personal statement.
Not quite sure.
Just be honest.
I'm getting that wrong. I'm sure I had to pay £50. And the process then began to move forward. So probably a couple of days after applying, I cannot tell you how quickly the ball moved and how amazing the staff on the clearing phone lines were. First things first, get a prospectus, look at the course you want to do, look at it in the prospectus and online, ring the uni through clearing and apply. Just speak to them and they'll direct you on to what comes next, whether it's through UCAS. If it is UCAS, get that ball rolling and apply for UCAS. Start speaking to people who might be your referees. Let them know can you have their email. They might to be aware that they're going to get an email from the university or UCAS, and start there. So literally that day, once it had sort of been confirmed that I had enough credits, they set me up with UCAS. And it came back with, thank you for sending us your UCAS application. What happens next? It usually takes 48 hours for us to process your application. Once we've done this, we'll send you a welcome email. This email is important as it gives you a personal ID. As we've received your application after the 30th of June, your application is automatically in clearing. And then so basically you can check the progress of your application by going through Track via UCAS, and you get this whole setup on your once you've logged got your once you've got your personal ID and you can log in to Track through UCAS, that you can follow your whole application the whole way through with all the changes that are happening, and it gives you a tick list basically of what you need to do next. It's foolproof really. It's brilliant. Then you start getting emails like this from UCAS. Start uni on the right page, how to get sorted for uni. The university came back, so it's an admissions officer. Thank you for your email and providing the attached documents and certificates. I've attached it to your application for consideration, and we've also received the reference for you. This should show on UCAS Track later on today. By the 23rd of August, so just a couple of days later, congratulations Daniela, you're off to uni. So I then, straight after that in the email, it says opening a student bank account. Next thing you need to think of really quickly.
Get that student bank account set up straight away.
Here are your UCAS status codes. They'll make opening a student bank account quick and easy. So you get a 4-digit code and a 16-digit code. And when you're opening student bank accounts, they will often ask you for those codes. So that's the next thing that you do. So just follow what it says in the email. Sort your finance. Do open a student bank account. Bear in mind, unlike the days when I was first at uni, where they just went, have a credit card, have a huge overdraft, racking up more debt than just paying off your the tuition fees later on. It's not a good idea. Try not to push it if you don't have to. And bear in mind, it's not just a given these days. It's credit test. It's based on credit, which for people that are coming out of A-level and stuff, it's probably quite difficult. I've seen a lot of my younger friends at university struggle because to get things like overdraft and stuff because they don't have a credit rating really. And people like me that probably had slightly dodgy credit rating from having been at uni before, again, struggle to get bank accounts. So people in the middle will probably be just fine. Not bank accounts, try struggling to get overdrafts and things. And then it starts showing shop for university, so things like buy a Mac or an Apple and all the discounts that you can get. Next thing you need to look at, so student bank account. Really the next thing that I would suggest that you need to do is apply to student finance. Because if you think about it, most people apply to student finance in March, and certainly they have to be in by May. So to be applying in August was incredibly late, and it made me worry that I wasn't going to get my fees or my tuition fees or my maintenance loan on time.
Can't stress how important this is. Apply to Student Finance England online as soon as you can.
So that night I stayed up to 3 in the morning and applied. And I said to the university, should I apply? Because what if it hadn't quite been confirmed by Winchester Uni, I don't think at that point. No harm in doing it. So if you don't get in, and you set it up, you just won't get it, so you can cancel it. So the first thing you need to jump on is doing things like applying for student finance and a student bank account. So I went online to Student Finance England, SFE, and applied. It's a very straightforward online form, probably less complicated the younger you are, probably be a bit for your parents to do. The older you are, probably a little bit more complicated. So I did the form. It asked me about my income, my earnings, tax, things like that. Asked me about my husband's income, tax, earnings, all of that, and I had to send proof. I had to send my original copy of my marriage certificate, and a few other documents to identify myself. I believe my passport or my birth certificate.
You need to send evidence to Student Finance, so get those documents ready as soon as you can.
Real copies. Get those straight in the post the next day, but it was done in a night. And then again, you can track the progress of your application. Get it in as soon as you can, because I was a little bit late getting my money. My money didn't arrive till October and we started in September, so get it in as quickly as you can is all I can say. So basically the next thing that happened just a couple of days later after that was I got an email from university saying congratulations, you have a non-conditional offer because I didn't have any grades coming in, and welcome to Winchester. And that was followed by invitations to open days. So I went to an open day on the 7th of September with Mike, and we had a look around the campus, and I was just blown away by how beautiful the campus was. I mean, obviously I'm a mature student, I wasn't going to be living in halls, but I just thought, even if you were living in halls, how wonderful. It's a big open space, it's sat on top of a hill, bear that in mind, it's on top of a hill, quite a lot of leg exercise. And I really just liked the classrooms, the social spaces, and I really enjoyed the short taster seminars from the lecturers, and I just thought, yeah, this is me, this is where I'm supposed to be. I just got a really good feeling, and that was that. We celebrated a little bit that day, and it was like, it started to actually feel real.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without what's been holding us back now.
I guess after that point, you probably got less than a month, maybe 2 weeks, even 3 weeks to get everything ready. So if you're moving into halls at that point, you need to start doing your forms and making sure that you've got your accommodation
so important.
sorted.
Get your accommodation sorted. Apply now. Get your accommodation sorted and start thinking about what you need to take.
Make sure you've got your finance sorted, so your student bank account. Next thing you know, you need to make sure that you've got everything you need to take to halls. So whether it's a new duvet, plates, cups, cutlery, shopping. Then start looking at textbooks. So sometimes the university will give you a course reading list.
Discounts. Sign up for uni days and Totem as soon as you can. It's great for technology like computers and all that good stuff.
Don't take too much. And just start preparing really. Make sure you've got a computer. So I went for a little one to start off with. And that was that really. So, and all in all, I just started to get ready, and I still feel like it was in a blur. Registration for university was probably mid-September, and it set up my university email account and the app for us, which shows my timetable of classes and how you check in and everything. And once that was done, that was really it, until then slowly but surely you get so many emails. University's about to start, here's your timetable, what to expect. Because it's through clearing, I believe normally people would already have picked the modules they wanted to do or requested. I didn't get to do that because of clearing, so I ended up doing some modules I probably wouldn't have particularly chosen, but they actually worked out to be great. So, and that was that. So I applied on the 16th of August through clearing to the University of Winchester, and I started at the University of Winchester full-time on the 17th of September 2019. So, you know, so a month basically from start to finish. It was an insane period, and I imagine if you've got your exam results to contend with as well, it's a lot. It's a big transition, but it's a fun one. So I just think, don't let the pandemic put you off going to university. It's a wonderful experience no matter what you're doing. And okay, the social side, hopefully this year it will be a bit better. My biggest tip for you, please get your jab. Please get your jab. Keep yourself and everybody else safe, please. But hopefully things will be a bit better than they were last year when we went back. They're hoping to welcome us back in person to classes, to campus, which is very exciting, even for people like me. Hopefully we'll get to do some socialising, because I've been on like 2 or 3 nights out.
What's been holding us back now? Let's move closer to a new history. Find out what we can be together.
It's pretty poor showing, so I'd like some socialising time. I'm just excited to get back in the library, and okay, I'm petrified that I've got to do my dissertation. And I've got a lot of work to do left in the summer, but I'm actually really excited to do this now. Like, I'm ready, I'm pumped up, I'm ready to do year 3, let's do this. And it all started by going through clearing, and if you're considering the University of Winchester, you know, University of Portsmouth, if you're on the south coast, University of Portsmouth was amazing. I hear really good things about Southampton, especially the medical school. As I say, my brother went to University of Essex and he loved it. What else we've got? The University of Surrey is very good. University of Reading, very good. But I have to say that Portsmouth was wonderful. I really enjoyed my time there, and especially for that particular course. If you're doing ODP, you got to go to Portsmouth. It was brilliant. Brilliant staff, just brilliant from start to finish, and I love my placements at Southampton General Hospital. But if you are looking to study history, or medieval history especially, come on, it's got to be Winchester. It's a beautiful city. It's quite quiet, but still a city. Some really cool bars, really cool restaurants, the cathedral, open spaces, country walks, rivers. You know, it's a beautiful place to study, and the campus is stunning. And it feels very quiet. It doesn't feel very busy or rushed. And I know the new accommodation there is amazing. So for the most part, most of the people I know that have attended Winchester have got, especially considering what we've been through the last couple of years, everybody's got nothing but positive things to say about it. So I just wanted to sort of just put your mind at ease. Okay, so you've got your results today. All right, they might not be what you were expecting. Do you know what? You've got through a global pandemic. That's fine, because this is the biggest life lesson that you will ever. It's a very important life lesson. Triumph over adversity, continuing to work hard to reach your goals despite what you're going through. That is the biggest life lesson that any of us can go through, and you've learnt it at a really young age, or middle age like me. But the fact is, you didn't give up. You did it, and so you should be really proud. And you know, if getting a job or an apprenticeship is right for you, then do that. That is no less valuable than going to university. It doesn't make you less of a person. There is this pressure, like I said, to keep topping up, to keep doing one step better. But you don't have to. We need to put a bit of a stop to that. It's about your health, your mental health, and what's right for you, what your goal is, what your road, what your plan is, and what your end result is that you want to be. Do you want to be a hairdresser? What qualifications do you need to do that? Do you want to be a doctor? How are you going to make that happen? What qualifications do you need to happen? But don't get into this mindset of, if it's not Oxford, it's not anything. My university is not in the top 10, put it that way, of the, you know, the Russell groups and everything like that in the university rankings, but I would pick it any day over some of those universities because of the experience that I've had. So don't let things like that bother you. It is an experience. It's 3 years that 3 years like no other. You will live, laugh, and just come out of it a whole different person. It expands your mind, it expands your friendship groups. I think you meet friends for life. I know I certainly have. And especially if you're a mature student, please do consider it. I've got friends who have got 2 kids. I've got single mums with kids that are doing it. I've got friends that are, you know, in their early 20s that started at 18 that are doing it, and we've all been through this journey together. And do you know what, being a mature student, I'm probably one of the oldest on the course. I'm going to be 39 when I graduate. I'm 38 now. I know I'm bats an eyelid. I mean, I'm sure when they listen to me talking about things like, my GCSE results day was in 1999, they're like, I wasn't even born then. Or when I mention things like Hanson, you know, or Eternal as my chosen music choices, they probably look at me and think she is old as. But so far it's never been a problem really. And I've always been included, and you know, we get on really well as a cohort. So I just think, don't let little things like that would have bothered me when I was 18. I just don't let them bother me now, because I just think life's too short. Especially after all this, life is too short. So if you want to go to university, do it. If you don't think you've got the qualifications, ring clearing and ask them, because quite often they will make an exception. They do have spots to fill, and if they think that they know people have been having a hard time. They know that sometimes when people are under pressure, they don't get the predicted grades that they want, and that it's very competitive. So just speak to them. Just ask the question. Don't automatically think, I'm not getting in. And if you don't get your first wish, perhaps there's something else better around the corner. You know, I do like the saying, sometimes prayers aren't answered for a reason, because there's something better coming, you know. So I just think, just give it a go. Just take a chance, and take the adventure, really. I'm hoping to do a tour soon around the University of Winchester, just to show you where I go and what I work. Because basically it's been impossible to do that for the last couple of years. Because I've basically been shielding, apart from 4 weeks in October where we got beautiful, blissful time back at uni face to face. Other than that, I've been shielding since February 2020. So I got less than half of the first year really in proper university. So I'm excited to go back in September. I'm actually really, really buzzing now to go back. Still scared about the dissertation side of things though. But other than that, I'm excited. So yeah, so apply through clearing, ring them, get your prospectus, look online, choose your course, look at the clearing page, get the clearing number and ring them today. Just do it. Get your certificates ready, get your grades ready to email, get a reference ready to send, get ready to do UCAS, be aware that there might be a charge involved, possibly about £50 odd. Get ready to set up a student account. So you'll need something with your address and your ID. Get that all set up. Don't go for a huge overdraft straight away. Start thinking about accommodation, what you need to take with you, textbooks, things like that, supplies, practical stuff like stuff to take with you to live with, like, you know, plates, cups, all of that sort of stuff. Start thinking about travel. Do you need bus passes when you're there? How are you going to get there? Obviously start thinking about your wardrobe. Just FYI, everybody lives in a hoodie and jeans. If you want to dress up, do, but honestly, for clothes, there is no, I remember sitting here thinking, oh, what am I going to wear? I mean, I'm a plus size girl, I'm going to look so, what am I going to wear? Didn't matter. Nobody cares. Everybody is just in comfies because you've got enough to be getting on with, so nobody cares. Main thing, once you've done clearing, get hold of student finance, get that application done, because you want to get it done as soon as possible to make sure there's no disruption to you getting your money. So student finance, I believe it's up to 12,000 if you're at university in London. That's for your maintenance, that's the maximum maintenance. I think the maximum maintenance outside of London is about 9,000 odd. Yeah, it's about 9,000 odd. I think I get about 8,000 odd. So that's split into 3 payments, so you get it once you've registered with uni, so it's usually a couple of days after you've registered it goes into your bank account, and that's split into portions. You don't have to worry about paying your fees, that's done automatically, that's paid from student finance to the university, you don't even have to worry about that, that's done. There's also a section for student finance where you go through disability allowance, so I filled that out for my dyslexia, dyspraxia and my chronic illness side of things, and I got extra help from it. And you know what, when I was 24 I didn't even mention it at university because I was so scared to let people know what was wrong with me, that I'd be treated differently or ostracised or just left out, or be criticised, that I didn't take any help that was offered to me, and I suffered because of it. So if you need to get some help, please do. They've been so helpful. I've got a laptop specialised with programmes for me. I've got a device that records lectures and helps me take my notes, so please do speak to the disability team at university straight away. And I just had to send some medical evidence to sort of prove those sorts of things, but it was all very easy. Do go to the open days virtually if you can't go in person, or in person if you can. Have a look around, ask the questions, there's lots of helpers and volunteers around. And give it a go. Do you know what? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's not for everybody, for sure, but it is for a lot of people, and I wasn't sure how I'd get on, but I have really enjoyed the last 2 years, even through all of this. I've made some amazing friends. I love the subject that I'm studying, so medieval history degree, yeah! It has been fascinating. It has really opened my mind, because I realised I thought I knew loads about it, but I didn't. I have enjoyed it more than anything in my life so far. The learning process, I think just continuing learning at my age has been amazing. I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed socialising again and meeting people and talking to people and having people listen to my opinion while I'm on my little break from the NHS. And who knows, when I graduate next year, I'd like to go into a history job. If not, I might have to go back to the NHS for a while, but I needed this break. My body needed this break, and I will always be very proud of my qualification and working for 15 years for the NHS, and very proud to be an anaesthetic practitioner. But I will be so proud to graduate with my degree in medieval history, and hopefully to go into that field, because why not? One, you know, your life doesn't have to, decisions early in life don't have to define you. I come from a working class single parent background. So what? So what? It didn't have to define me. I didn't go to particularly great school. So what? I worked hard for what I got, for my grades. That is the answer to everything. It is about working hard, because that is the only solution to anything. I've got a chronic illness. It sucks sometimes, and it's been real stressful this year. I've had to get extensions, hands up, but you know what? I've got it done, and I'm still there. I'm still hanging in. I didn't fail. I made it work. Did a lot of reading in hospital beds, but I made it work. There are so many reasons to say don't do it, and there's so many more to say do, you know? So it doesn't have to define you. You know, I wouldn't change any of it for the world. The times I spent in Boots, the times I spent working for the makeup companies, being a makeup artist, I'm very proud of that. And I love that I get to do it at the weekends still, you know. I love my job, but it wasn't enough for me to just do that. I always wanted to do, I very much enjoyed being in the NHS, but it's not quite enough. And I think on average, a lot of people these days are having 1, 2, 3 careers in their lifetime. So if you want to do something, just go for it. Don't let anything dissuade you. Congratulations to everybody getting your results today. No matter what the results say, you know deep down that you worked hard and you achieved. So raise a glass to that. Be proud of you, because I know your parents are proud of you. Be proud of yourself. Your teachers are so proud of you. The fact that you got through this year is amazing. Full stop, end of, move on, put it in a box, move on. University, is it right for you? If it is, then apply. Whether you're mature, whether you're going at 18 or in the middle of that somewhere, doesn't matter. You can do it. If it's not right for you and you think I'm better doing practical things, maybe I'll look at an apprenticeship. That's fantastic and comes with some great job outcomes. If you are just going straight into a job that doesn't need any extra higher learning, great. If that's what you want to do, if that makes you happy and your end goal is your job is there ready, take it. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want to save a bit of money if you can do it straight away? Whatever your choice now to do, make sure it is your choice. Make sure it's what makes you happy, and that's all you need to know. So congratulations on your results today, and if you're applying through clearing, then just get straight on it now. There's no time to waste, really. Just start applying now. It's a really easy, trust me, I get fuddled by the smallest things. So I was really worried, but clearing was so easy, especially through Winchester. And if you are going to university on the South Coast, I can't recommend Winchester University enough. It's been amazing staff, amazing university, lovely campus, and they delivered the course spectacularly despite it having to be online. So I'm just really proud to say that I'm at university at Winchester, and I can't wait to graduate next October. Fingers crossed. So guys, I'll be doing some more videos soon. I'll be doing some on for ODP students. I will be doing some book recommendations for ODP. I might do something on medieval history. Who knows? I'll definitely be doing some more makeup tutorials and some life updates, because we've had some pretty big changes happening in the Logan house. I'm not pregnant, just so you know. We're not getting divorced, and I'm not pregnant. Just putting that out there. But yeah, we've had some pretty big changes happening in our house that I'd love to share with you now that I'm finally able to. I've known about them since February and I haven't been able to say anything, and it's been driving me nuts. Now I can finally say something and tell you about it and help take you on the rest of our journey, which I'd love you to come with. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching as always. If you do like the videos, do give them a thumbs up. I'm not the most technical person, so they're not always the best compared to other people's out there, but they are always very real and very honest. So if you do like them, please do give the thumbs up, because it means so much, and do hit the little subscribe notification, because I'd love to take you with me on my journey. Thanks for watching guys, good luck. Whatever you choose to do in life, congratulations on your results, and if you're going to university, have a wonderful, wonderful time. Take care guys, and I'll see you soon.